Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Hakwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadet. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Well, grand rising, everyone, and welcome to the show. And today we're going to talk about what does it mean to be an intuitive. And our guests on the show today are Naima Latif and Christina Fejula. And I'm very excited to have them on board. And, there's a lot of changes going on in the world, and people are feeling different ways, and they don't recognize their feelings. And so what we're going to talk about today is, what are these signs that we should be looking for that might explain how we feel? So without further ado, let me bring in Naima. Grand rising, sister.
Grand rising.
How are you?
Yes, I'm fantastic. I had to rush to be gorgeous and everything like you, so
Gorgeous like me. I have no makeup on, like not even my lipstick and my eye and my mascara.
Natural beauty, see?
I'm like, I could use a little sprucing today. So, and maybe when we go to commercial, I will spruce up just a little bit, just saying.
Oh, you look fantastic. But however you feel about yourself, it's all in your own mind, but we see you as gorgeous.
Well, thank you. Likewise, but you're always gorgeous. So there.
I have lights here to create the optical illusion. So,
right? And there you go. It's always in things that right? We have a list of things that people should think about when they want to know if they are an intuitive. And actually, I forgot to play my first part of my introduction. What if you could live to be 120? But I guess we're here now, so
we'll play it later. Yeah. Just to remind people that that's our goal. We're trying to live to be 120 and
I play it?
healthy. Yes.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
have a good
Okay,
life
so
up to
I'll play
100.
it.
Yes.
Let me play that. Give me a minute here. So, because really that's so important about, I was listening to this woman yesterday. She's an MD gone shaman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's an
damn.
interesting combination.
Yeah. And she talks about how our focus is to take care of the physical body. And she says, yeah, we all got it wrong. So let me run this promo real quick. Not the promo. Yeah, the promo. Or the explanation of what our show is. And then I'd like to also pull up one of her videos. Okay.
Great.
All right.
Great.
There we go.
What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Tucson Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and your cells feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jody Susan. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Okay, so that's what we're about, helping you achieve a breakthrough in your health.
That's
And Christina will be joining us later. And I'm going to put in our private chat, Naima, the things that we're going to talk about. And just so everyone knows, if this sounds like you or someone call in to the show this morning. And we'll give you the number here to call into. It is area code 515-605-9325. And you can ask questions. And then going back to who you are, do you pick up on everyone's emotions, right? Are you having vivid dreams? Are you very discerning? This is really me. Do thoughts drop into your mind from nowhere? Yeah, because I hear I'm a walking antenna, right? You get messages, from all around. Other intuitives, also known as psychics, are showing up a lot in your room, in your world. Are you suffering from a chronic illness? And doctors can't figure it out. That was me to a T.
Ooh.
Yeah, no one had an idea what was going on. I had to figure it out for myself. And you're prone to addiction because you feel the need to numb what you're feeling because you feel so much.
Yes.
And you feel this connection, a special connection to nature. And the universe gives you some big, huge, gargantuan signs. So if any of these things sound like you, let's get this party started. I also want to say we're not on YouTube today, and I am going to encourage people to follow me on Rumble.
Yes.
So
ready to rumble.
Yeah, right, ready to rumble. So I just kind of want to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. So last week, and I'm going to get the link for Rumble. Last week, we had Alexis Badenmeyer on the show, and she is so amazing. And we spoke about things we weren't supposed to speak about. I don't know, truth.
Yes.
Boom chakalaka laka laka.
Some truth threatens some people's financial gains, so that's why certain truth gets pulled when certain people have financial interest in us not knowing certain truths. So that's That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reality that we're living in.
So we're not on YouTube today. So I respectfully and gratefully ask you to subscribe to my new Rumble channel.
Yes.
So,
And if you're curious about what they're trying to keep you from knowing, then go back in the archives and listen to it on Blog Talk.
yeah. So
Something they don't want you to know.
No, they really don't want you to know. And so you can listen to it on Blog Talk. If you go to my Rumble channel, we have uploaded
Ooh,
we have uploaded that
that episode.
broadcast to Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if you go to Rumble, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but just hit that subscribe button. You are going to have to, fill out your information and get an account and all. And so, okay, so let's get that. Okay. So here it is. So please subscribe to my new Rumble channel so I can live stream. I need 100 subscribers. Yesterday, I think we got 20 people to take action.
Good.
That was pretty cool. So, so that's kind of where we're at there. Okay, so where do you want to start this, Naima?
Well, one of the things that you spoke about, which I think people should pay attention to, is the chronic illness. When you are an intuitive, and if you're around negative people, you can be made sick. And this is real. That's why you have to really decide whose company you're going to keep. When you're an intuitive, you are feeling people's vibrations. And when people are nasty acting, mean-spirited, always want to say negative gossip, you feel that on an energetic level, and it is affecting the cells in your body, and you are absorbing that, and it's making you sick. So that's one of the things that if you're an intuitive, you might not realize when you start feeling uneasy around certain people or certain conversations. And if you were a child growing up in a household that was toxic, arguing all the time, you might have been one of those children that always had to stay home from school because you were sick, and who knew that that's really what it was that was making you sick. So these are things to pay attention to. If you're in a toxic workplace environment where people are mean, always getting fired, the stress of that.
$7. You can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to.
Sorry, I'm trying to support your point. I'm pulling up a video.
Yes. Because a lot of times we don't think about that. What is affecting our physical health is the emotions that we're absorbing from other people that are unhealthy, negative emotions. And we just think, I don't know why I'm always depressed around this person, or when I go to work or after this conversation, I always feel bad. And then it translates from depression to physical illness. So being an intuitive means you have to guard your environment and where you choose to take yourself, because you are so sensitive. I didn't realize that what it was that made me such a sensitive child was my intuitive nature. And I cried a lot. I was a crier. I was teased for crying. Matter of fact, I started talking about it on one of Dr. Debbie's shows and almost broke out crying then. And I realized, oh, wow, this is a thing that's still affecting me. That, when you're a child and you're very sensitive, often you're ridiculed. So we almost get ridiculed out of our intuitive nature when we're young.
Because we have to numb ourselves, right?
Yeah, we have to numb ourselves, which is why you can understand how people can have a tendency toward addiction. You have to numb the pain of your sensitivity somehow. And alcohol and drugs can do that.
Well, and then you go to a doctor and they numb you.
Yeah.
And 17 medications to numb me.
Yeah. Because the idea is that there's something wrong with your sensitivity. So we need to numb it. And you don't realize that's your greatest gift, being able to feel, because that is the most sincerest gauge of what is true and what is false, what is right and what is wrong, is that intuitive ability. So, I was a child that was very sensitive. If someone was hurt, I'd feel sad, I'd cry. I cried at sad movies. I cried all the time. And my feelings were easily hurt. If someone was mean to me, I cried. So, over the years, you learn ways of numbing it with a smile. Just put the smile on the face, and mask the hurt, but it's still there.
Yeah,
And
and I was never very good at masking the hurt. Like I just wasn't. Um the only way that I was able to power through it was to take a nap.
mm, mm, that's probably a healthy thing to do.
Well, so I take a nap. I clean the bathroom
Mm,
to get the energy out.
that's interesting.
I weight lift, go exercise. I never self-medicated, meaning alcohol or drugs, and I didn't overeat.
Yeah.
But the doctors took care of the medication part.
Mm, yeah. Here, take these pills, take these drugs. Yeah.
Mhm.
And when you
And
don't those, come back and get a refill.
pretty much,
Yes.
right? And so, so the thing is that if this resonates with you, please call into the show at 515-605-9325. Share your experiences, ask your questions. What does it are you an intuitive? When did you realize you were an intuitive? When you realized you were an intuitive, did how did that change things for you?
Mm.
Like that. How did it change things for you, Naima?
Wow. Because there wasn't a name for it when I was growing up. I just called it crybaby and made to feel ashamed of my sensitivity. So I think that affected me self-esteem wise. That was one of the most challenging things. I don't think I got over it until maybe high school.
Really? You got
Yeah.
over it that quick?
Yeah, right. Well, by high school, I was still very sensitive, but I learned to mask it with the smile and the voice, so that when people were mean, because we all went through the mean girl thing where you'd have uh people who, because of their own low self-esteem, would pick on you or say things or try to hurt your feelings. And if they discover that they could make you sad and cry, that would encourage them even more. So you learned how not to show that you were hurt by the meanness. And so I didn't learn to master that until high school. And then of course I didn't understand until college that people who did that, it was because of their own low self-esteem. But
Yeah, my father used to tell me. So I remember, I was in grade school. I was at John F. Kennedy Grade School in Highland Park, Illinois, right?
Mm.
And I used to get teased on the playground. I'd come home crying, and my dad said, "Just brush it off."
Mm,
So I took it as he didn't care.
mm,
So, so now I'm getting it from both sides. I'm having these feelings, right? And I'm being teased on one side and not acknowledged for what's happening on the other. But he was actually just trying to tell me in a way that he didn't really know how, is that you're bigger than that.
yeah. Yeah.
And so if you're getting teased, if you're younger or even older and still getting teased, right? The message is that you're bigger than that. Walk
Yeah.
away. Change your environment, change your friends.
Yeah, change your friends. And I've had this long conversation with God the other day, about what am I supposed to be learning from, negative experiences. And I figured out that the experience with teasing people, being mean, that of course was a practice in forgiveness and compassion and understanding that these people had something happening in their lives
Mhm.
that was hurting them. And so they thought making someone else feel bad would make them feel better. And it does, maybe for a minute. If you've ever been mean to somebody or teased somebody or bullied somebody, yeah, you get that rush of feeling of power for a minute. But somewhere later on in life, you feel deep regret and pain that you did that. But at that moment, yeah, you feel kind of powerful. Yeah, I made her cry. Yeah, I made her scared. Whatever it is, yeah, there's that rush of power for a minute because somewhere in your life you felt powerless when someone was mean to you. But you do feel the regret of having sunk to your lowest self at
Mhm.
some point in your future. You feel the pain of that. So I was shown that these experiences with these people was to give me compassion and forgiveness of people who are doing these things because of their own bad feelings within. And then I was asking, well, what about these experiences I've had of betrayal? Friends who stab you in the back, who try to tear you down. You think that they're being your friends because they maybe admire you, but then the flip side of admiration is jealousy. And jealousy comes from people not having high self-esteem. So because they feel bad about themselves, anything positive you do, they resent you because you're reminding them of their own feelings of failure. And those might be people closest to you, and then they sabotage what you're doing and they try to publicly humiliate you in some way. And that's just, and I had a
Oh,
couple.
I have seen that.
Yeah, and when it's someone who you thought was a friend, it's so cutting. I think
A
about that
friend
line.
or a family member who thinks it publicly humiliating you.
That cuts deep. And I think of what is that speech in the play Julius Caesar, when Mark Antony is looking at all the wounds of Caesar, and he'd say, "Then this is the unkindest cut of all," coming from his friend Brutus. Well, that's when you feel like the friend that's close to you, that's the unkindest cut of all, the one that you thought was standing by you, and then they stab you in the back, and it's very painful. And I was asking God, so what was I supposed to learn from that? And again,
Well, and what is the learning from that?
is to understand that when people don't feel good about themselves, they get angry at others.
So also, and when they have been attacked themselves, they turn to the right or turn to the left, right? And they pass it on
They
versus
pass it on.
transmuting it to God, giving it to God to handle so that you can be a clear space for the next
Right.
person.
Yeah, they didn't forgive whatever happened to them. Instead, they, like you say, pass it on. And so my job is to understand that and have compassion and forgiveness, understanding why they caused pain because they're in pain.
Yeah.
And you're the closest person to them. And even though what they felt for you might be love and admiration, what they felt for themselves was a kind of a self-contempt because of how they were treated and how they were made to feel about themselves. So my challenge was to understand that. And like your father was trying to say, you're better than that. Nothing anyone says or does to you can make you lesser than who you really are.
Yeah. And what he also taught me is that you can't control other people.
Right. You can't
And
control
that was,
other people.
yeah, that was the biggest message. And so as an empath, or intuitive, it's another word for an intuitive for those who don't know,
Mhm.
it's really about going within, learning who you are,
Yes.
understanding how you feel around certain things,
Yes.
understanding if it fuels your soul,
Yes.
right? And then understanding what you want out of life
Yes.
And aligning that. And by the way, you're not doing this by yourself. You're co-creating this with a higher source.
Yes. Yes.
And I wrote a post on Facebook. Okay. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. Because it was the very first day of the Jewish New Year. And some people know that I converted from Judaism to Christianity. Some don't. And that's okay. But the main post, the picture was pray, not until God hears you, but until you listen to God,
That's it.
right? Because it's not about him hearing you. He hears you all the time. The question is, are you in a space to get his message?
Right.
Here,
Right.
right? And in order to hear his message, you really have to calm the brain. You have to slow down. You have to meditate. So let me read. I'm going to read what I wrote.
Yes.
So got my phone here, right? So some of you may know I am a medical intuitive. By the way, what is a medical intuitive, right? So I can scan the body and understand where your pain is without you telling me. What most of the time, what your root cause is, and if it's not mine to know, I can tell you that too. Okay, so some understand, some innerstand, INNER, meaning in the soul.
Get it on the inside. Yeah. Your heart understands.
Some laugh, some criticize. The best comment I hear is in response to me being a medical intuitive is, well, I believe in Christ. Like, you can't be a medical intuitive and believe in Christ. Okay. As if listening to God, infinite, incorruptible source, is not for mankind. Like, the only ones who can listen to God are the ones that are on the pulpit. Not true. Not true on any level. It's your divine right. Okay. And being an intuitive of any kind, and by the way, there are so many intuitives out there. Some are active and some are quashing themselves. And everybody has different gifts in terms of their intuitiveness, right? But it says being an intuitive of any kind is all about listening and following infinite, incorruptible source. I have no special power over you, and I have no special power over others. My superpower is listening to the higher power and taking action. It is taking action even if I don't understand. It is surrendering to his will, not my will. It is having faith that God, infinite, incorruptible source, will not let me down. That I will have struggles, and that ultimately those struggles will lead me to my higher purpose. Today is a very spiritual day. Of course, it was written a few days ago. Growing up Jewish, I loved the first day of the Jewish New Year, although I do not celebrate this anymore. There is an undeniable power of this day. Whatever your faith, let it lead you to your soul purpose. So
beautiful words.
Thank you. But it's really heartfelt because I know a lot of people from the Jewish community, not all, some, were really offended. One of the rabbis that I communicated with said, well, what do you need to unpack? Well, nothing. Coming from, the enlightened one, right? The rabbi. But we don't have to take offense. My point is, and I'm not making him wrong. I know it sounds that way, so I apologize if that's the case. we don't have to take offense to someone practicing another practice. We can just love them where they're at.
We should be able to do that. But, it is interesting that if you choose to follow another faith or another path in your spirituality, those who were with the group that you were with do get offended, as if your leaving because of your own soul's journey is somehow a condemnation of where they are, or it's a proof that what they're believing isn't true. And so they feel like they have to attack your choice. And I don't understand. Well, I do understand it. And I don't understand it. It's like, how's what I'm doing got anything to do with you? It's about me, but that's
Right.
But people, because when I first converted from Christianity to Islam,
Mm-hmm.
my Christian friends, some of them were really, they took it personally, like it was a slap in their face, or a discounting of their faith and their belief. And I wasted a lot of time in religious arguments, and I finally realized, don't do that. Let people be where they are and be where you are, and it's okay. And your real friends will love you for where you are because they love you. But people who feel challenged because I'm on a path that has taken me to this particular faith community, those people, they're unsure of themselves, and so they need other people's validation. But if you are where you are, you don't need anybody's validation. And for people who say they follow Christ, well, one of the most powerful things that Jesus did was to empower people to know that they have the ability to have that direct connection to God. You don't have to go through the priests and the rabbis and the reverends and and it doesn't mean those people don't have the right to be who they are, but they shouldn't try to control your connection to God, because you're trying to have power over someone instead of guiding them on the right spiritual path for them. And that's incorrect. And that's one of the things that was one of the main points that Jesus was making throughout his ministry and demonstrating. And that's how come those religious leaders resented him, because he was demonstrating the spiritual gifts and the powers you get when you have your direct connection to God. And you had to go to the priest and get them to decide to pray for you and see if God's going to accept you. You don't have to give them that kind of power. Don't give away your power. That was his message. So if they say they follow him, well, if that's the case, they should be happy for you.
Yeah, and why is it that it's so easy for some of us to give away our power?
Because we think we should. Because we were conditioned to do so early on. Usually whatever religion we were indoctrinated into as children, the core belief was fear. Fear to change, fear to convert to something else. Your decision to go from Judaism to Christianity, well, that means you defied the idea that the only people that God accepts are these people, and you're leaving us. You're going to be with those people who are not going to get in heaven.
Well, it's interesting. Do you know the story behind when I converted, or no?
I think you've told us a little bit, and it really just kind of had to do with not seeing that godly spirit among people who were professing a faith, but they weren't.
Yeah, there was
the energy of love.
Yeah, it was a couple things. And looks like we have Teddy on the show. So Susan, thank you. The link just showed up in my feed. I've been searching here before 8. She says she subscribed to my Rumble channel. Love you, Teddy. Yeah, Teddy got off of Facebook, and so I'm really grateful that you took the time to get on to listen to the show. So what happened was, I was disabled at the time, and the home that I was renting, there was a 4-unit bedroom apartment in Palatine, Illinois, and the landlord wasn't paying the rent, or the mortgage, even though I was paying the rent, and it went on the auction block, which, by the way, was one of the first times I realized I was an intuitive. because
Mm.
I got a message from God the night before it went on the intuitive on the auction block, and God came to me and said, "You need to go look for another apartment." I'm like, "I'm disabled. I have no income. How am I doing that?" Right. So then the message was, "Look up your own address," and so I did.
Mm.
Why would you search for your own address to as a place to live when you're living there? And when I did, I saw that was going on the auction block the next morning.
Wow.
Hmm. Yeah. So then, um, yeah, this is crazy. So then we have a new owner. He's part of the mafia. He was part of
Mm.
the Irish mafia,
Mm.
and he wanted us all to leave. We wouldn't. I wouldn't leave. Wasn't intending to leave. So he started putting nails in my car tire.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, and it wasn't just a nail, it was a string of nails, 4 nails, all lined up perfectly in a row.
Oh.
It's a message. Not an intuitive
Ooh.
message, but definitely a message.
Ooh. That's
So I'm looking for help, and I, reach out to my community,
Mhm.
and there were a lot of promises made and nothing happened.
Mm.
And they basically turned their back on me.
Oh.
And then a friend of mine, who is also my acupuncturist, who is of the Christian faith, I told her what was happening, and she goes, "Well, I'll call the church." And I said, "But I'm Jewish." I said, "So I don't know that they would help me." And she goes, "Well, we don't really care what your religion is."
Mm.
In 6 hours, she got me enough money to move. They had a bunch of people over to help me pack. And another friend of mine moved me, got me a place to stay with her brother in law. And I borrowed a room from him for 5 months or 4 months, something like that, until I got a job. So that's what happened there.
Mm.
That was just a
Well,
hint.
that's a powerful experience to have, on what real love and real community is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I'm working at this job. It was Cairo One Wellness Centers. And Dr. Ben Lerner, who wrote the book Body by God, and was the official coach for the 1996 Olympics. And yeah, we'll go to commercial here in a second. He was official wrestling coach for the 1996 Olympics. He was born Jewish, and he converted to Christianity and told his story.
Oh.
That was October 6th of
Mm.
2017. I converted
Wow.
because he kind of like gave me permission to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
it was about being loved, regardless of my faith.
Yeah.
The other part was, and don't get me wrong, there's so many instances where God showed up. And then it was about him, by him having the strength to cross over to the other side, gave me the strength to follow. Because
Yeah.
I thought I was betrayed my whole Jewish community. And I'm not. I
But
love my Jewish background.
yeah,
Love my Jewish background.
that's the thing, that it's challenging for people who are kind of stuck in an idea that God only accepts people of our religion. And then someone that they care about, family member or friend or whatever, converts to something else, they're stuck in that idea. Oh, now God won't like you anymore, or you can't get to heaven, or you're condemned, or you don't know the truth anymore. They're stuck there instead of them realizing that God is not limited to our little beliefs, and we do our children a disservice, um, indoctrinating them into a religious belief instead of helping them connect to God, because that's what really
Because a lot of religion is just follow these rules.
follow these rules. Yeah, And,
And it's not. That's not what life is about. Life is about creating your own rules based upon your own beliefs, based upon your own experiences, and doing right. I mean, there are some good rules. Don't get me wrong. Like, you got to have some shared values. Got to have healthy boundaries. Can't be, sleeping with your neighbor's wife and crap like that. Unless you have an agreement to sleep with your neighbor's wife. If you have that agreement, then it's fine. But if not, you create a new
everybody's
agreement.
okay with it, then yeah.
So let me run our commercial real quick, and we'll come back. And don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Okay, so I have a video and I'm going to show, and I want some people know this already. If you don't, this is really amazing. So Dr. Modi exposed music, words, spoken words, type, pictures, and videos to water. And after it was crystallized, the water's response was truly majestic. And now this is just like a 3-minute video. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can get that going.
Or you might have to take the title off so they can see the bottom.
Oh, there we go. So love. And you can see the image of snowflake, the water. Thank you.
Ooh.
Image of water. Love and appreciation.
Oh,
Beautiful image of water. Just delightful, right? Happiness. Can't wait to see this one. Woo!
Wow.
Right? And truth. Look at that. And crystallized water from Lake Carapucuba after prayer. Wow, that just resonates. Very high vibration. And Fuijua Dam after. Wow. Okay. Whoa, that does. Mother Teresa. Okay, look at that. Make me sick, I will kill you. So that looks cancerous, everybody. Look at that. That's a sign. That's what cancer looks like in your body.
Yes. And you can understand why, because cancer is the thoughts, anger, hatred, unforgiveness. I hate you. That's the energy you're sending to your body, and that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So
Adolf Hitler.
Oh my.
Another cancer image.
Oh,
okay, I got
to
actually gratitude. Okay, that's beautiful.
Oh, nice.
And to that energy field if you can. Water sample taken out from holy water. Wow.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Peace. My favorite word. Peace. There you go.
It's amazing.
Beethoven's Pastoral. There you go.
Ooh.
And Amazing Grace.
Oh my.
demon. And that's what you get, right? After exposure to a child. Look how playful that is. And happy and anger. Again, really sick. And what else we got here? If thoughts can do that to water, imagine what thoughts can do to us. Up to 60% of our body is water. And that's what people really need to know. 60% of our body is water.
Yes.
And so we, anyways, this is still going. It is. It looks like it's got a few more seconds. Let's you this. But that's your message, right? I mean,
Yes.
Close it off.
So when you are an intuitive, you feel things so intently and you are conscious of how you're feeling. So words, the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Yes, they will. Look at what those words do. And
they really do. And
because words carry energy.
Yeah, we're energy. And I have to tell you that even looking at those images, I'm so empathic that's difficult for me. I can't even watch like a negative TV show.
Yes, I stopped watching violence. I can't watch people being killed. I don't care if it's just fantasy and entertainment. I'm not entertained by suffering. Because when you feel it, even when it's fantasy, why would you want to feel the horror of someone getting shot or stabbed? It's just, how is that fun looking at that? I don't understand that at all. So I do not watch violent shows. I stopped watching the news. Any information I need, it'll come through on my phone, and I can pull it up on my YouTube. People send me emails, but I don't need to keep seeing graphic images of distress because I'm feeling that. And why would I want to put my body through that? And look at what it's doing to the water. So why would I want to do that to myself?
Right. So, and then there's this doctor, her name is Lisa Rankin. And I'm trying to find the video that I saw of her yesterday. It's just so amazing to me. But what I'll do is on our next break is I will find that video so we can play it before, we bring up Christina. So some other signs that you are an intuitive. Should we go through that?
Yes.
Okay. You feel a special connection in nature. How does that show up for you, Naima? How do you soothe yourself with that?
Well, one of the things that I've really been fascinated lately and studied and got certified in is interspecies communication, which is realizing that everything is alive and you can feel the comfort that comes from trees, grass, birds, crickets. So when you can get out and just walk, and for me, I can almost feel the trees greeting me as I come past, and I feel that. And I feel, the gentleness of the grass, just pleasant and peaceful, just radiating joy and just radiating gratitude for the sun. And even when it rains, I feel the gratitude coming from the plants that were dry and needed some rain. So it's a whole different experience when you can tune into the feelings of nature, the feelings of plant life, the feelings of the insects. I don't kill things anymore at all. I don't care if it's a spider or a bug or fly. I don't kill anything. If it's in the house, I'm like, okay, you have to leave. And if they don't leave, I'll like scoop them up and take them outside. But the feelings that you get from the natural environment are so comforting. And when you can mirror that energy of peace, then you can even, it's like you can feel the feelings that other beings have. And
So
it is
beings are more than
calming.
just human beings, right? They're the
Yes.
animals, they're the plants, they're the trees. So Andrew and I we went for a walk first thing in the morning yesterday for about 4 miles, and
Mm,
on the way back we passed by this tree and there was some really bad energy.
mm,
And what I real and actually then I got pain in my knee, and the tree was in pain. And the reason it was in pain, there's these huge 5G towers there
mm.
that's compromising its DNA.
Wow. Wow. And you know, it's important to understand that just as we carry the energy of bad experiences, if something painful happens, say somebody is hanged on a tree like they used to hang people, they're still carrying that pain and that energy and that sadness. They and you feel it from them. And
Well,
then
yeah,
like you say, these things
energy
like
I'm
yeah,
sorry. So energy transcends all space and time,
yes,
right?
energy transcends space and time. Yes.
What does that really mean?
That
It means
means
it's right? I mean,
yes, something that happened. And matter of fact, I mentioned this in one of my 555 messages, I think a couple of days ago. Something can happen at a location and you still feel the energy from that later on. It's still there. And until you can replace that negative energy with something positive. So let's say somebody's shot somewhere, you know, and they died there. Everybody walking past is going to feel that energy of their distress, the tragedy. They're going to feel that just walking past that spot. So you have
yeah,
to literally do something to change that energy. You know, whether it's singing, prayers, love. You know, something. Plant flowers. You know, because flowers have positive energy. I mean, you have to
it has a higher
change the
vibration.
energy. Yes, they have a higher vibration. So you have to bring a higher vibration to a place where a lower vibration activity occurred in order to change that energy. Otherwise, everybody will feel that same negative energy when they enter that space. Doesn't matter how long ago it happened.
Right. And so back in like 2019, a girlfriend of mine explained to me that when you have a fight with someone in your house,
Hmm.
the energy from that fight sticks on the walls.
Yes, yes,
So until you clear that energy,
yeah.
the vibration of that negative fight is sitting on your walls, on
Hmm.
your chair, it's
Yeah,
on your table. It's
yes,
now infused into
yes,
everything in your home
yes.
until you clear it.
Until you clear it. Yes, it is. It is. And people can feel it, and you don't realize it's still influencing your behavior because the energy is stored in the things, and you're out. Everything is alive. Everything. I was listening to this near death experience where a man was recounting. He had the life review, and he was shown how when he beat up this little boy, the little boy went home crying, and as he walked along the path, the rocks along the path he was walking were absorbing all his negative energy and distress because everything is alive. So, and he was affecting the air, he was affecting the birds, he was affecting the trees with his distress and crying over getting beat up. And the man looking at his life review saw that this is what he created in bullying and picking on this little boy, how all the negative energy was spread almost throughout the universe from that one thing.
Yeah.
So when you realize that we're energy and we're always projecting energy with everything we say, you got to be conscious of what you say and think and do and what you absorb from other people. Because
Okay, so should we talk about that, about what we absorb from other people? Because if you grow up in a home where there's a lot of fighting or let's say low vibration energy, um, actually I feel compelled to let people know what they can do,
yes,
from the expensive to the cheap, right?
How do you clear negative energy from your environment?
Yeah. Okay. So cheap. You can pray.
Yeah.
You can bring in the essence of a higher power, God, Jesus, Buddha, the Dalai Lama.
Yes.
You can bring in anyone you want. You can literally imagine the power of someone else who has really good energy and bring that into your field.
Yeah.
Okay. It could be a person, could be it could be a higher power. I prefer to bring in a higher power.
But a higher energy will always overcome a lower energy. So,
And you
people,
make a request, right, to clear the energy in your home. You
yes,
literally have to make this request. Okay. You can't just assume it.
yeah,
You have
have
to
to say
request
with
it.
intention, this is what I
Mhm.
need done.
Yeah, you need to use your voice.
Yes, yes.
Okay. The other thing is, I know a lot of people say use sage. I've never saged my house in my life.
Mm,
Never. Now, let me tell you what I have done. I've taken lemon essential oil
okay. That
and
it works. Hey.
burn water, and I get all the windows and all the mirrors, and I get all the door jambs and all the portals, and I clean that house.
Mm,
Okay. Remember I told you at the beginning of the show when I was in an upset, I used to clean?
yes.
Races of
That was an intuitive thing to do because you didn't know that that's what you were doing was clearing the energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Did not know, but cleaning your home is a great thing to do. My recommendation, and on a scale of 1 to 10 of how important it is, it's a 15.
Mm. The scale of 1 to 10 is a 15.
Yeah. Don't use toxic materials
Yes.
because
And
that's
people
what
don't
makes
always
it
know what.
glow again.
So what's a common toxic thing that people use that they probably should stop using to clean?
Lemon Pledge, Clorox bleach, Windex,
Mm.
I don't know, any of those household cleaners that are made with synthetics.
Mm.
Okay. What's good to use,
How
and
about
it's
ammonia? Because people, I don't know why people
so bad.
really
Bad, 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 bad. I used to pass out. So if I
Yeah,
even
that would make me very sick. Yeah.
I would pass out cold. So
Wow.
someone had, and then I lost my breath. I was like cheerleading over at University of Arizona, and I passed out on the field. And I was started to wake up, and someone gave me an ammonia popper to wake me up, and I passed out again because
Oh man. Oh, no. They meant well. They just didn't know.
oh yeah, yeah. And I thought there was something wrong with me. Just so
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, because everybody's like, what's wrong with you?
That's what they're supposed to do. Better that you wave a bottle of lemon essential oil under my nosy, right? That'll work.
Ammonia, yes.
Wave a plant underneath me. Is you can actually shift your entire emotional well-being simply by taking an essential oil, putting it in the palm of your hand, rubbing the palm of your hands together,
Breathe.
breathing in.
And that's a weird thing. I just smelled that.
Oh, because you're in the energy field.
That is really weird. I'm like, wait a minute. How's that happening?
Because you're an intuitive.
Wow.
And you're clear. So there's different clears,
Oh, that
right?
is
We
too
talk
funny.
about that because that's going to be kind of fun.
Because just so you all know, I'm in Chicago and she is in, what is that city down south you at?
I'm in Georgia, Kennesaw, Georgia.
Yeah. So I don't know how I smelled that when she did that, I got a whiff of it. I'm like, wait a minute. How did that happen?
That's funny.
Wow, that was odd. that
Okay,
was really
let me
odd.
see if I
That
can.
was great.
Yeah, it does smell great,
Yeah,
doesn't
my
it?
nose.
Okay, so yeah, so I think there's more than 4 clears. There's 5 clears. Here we go. So
Now, what about the thoughts that drop into your mind? And that's important because all the time we're picking up thoughts.
Yes.
And you have to know when a thought came from someone other than yourself, and hopefully a higher entity. I had a really negative experience one time, and I don't know, it was negative energy from, I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to recreate it.
Yeah.
But negative
So
energy
out
was sending
it was-
negative thoughts to my head, and it was horrible. I had to keep praying and pray that out of my head, but it was awful. Yeah. So you have to, when you're an intuitive, you have to really be careful about the conversations you engage in, the people that you are around, and when that water demonstration, the word demon, and we saw what that looked like. Do not be around people that talk a lot about evil and things, because you're summoning that energy, and then you can't get rid of it, and then you have little awful thoughts coming into your head from energy that you summon. So
Yeah.
that, you don't want that. When you can't get rid of a thought that keeps being sent to your head because you have summoned energy from the dark side, you don't want that.
Or if you summon energy from a friend, like, I hear conversations all the time.
Mm.
And so what I do, other people's conversations, and I'm not in the same state.
Mm.
And so what I do is I just cut that off because it's not mine to know.
Yeah.
There are sometimes the spirit does want me to know. And I use it as a way, and I file it in my file cabinet. And I think we have Christina coming on any moment here.
That'd be great. The reason why, because all beings have the power of telepathy, but the reason why human beings have lost their telepathic skills is because we are not truthful. We lie.
True.
We're not truthful. We learn to lie to protect ourselves from punishment early in life. And intentional telepathic communication is communication from heart to heart, soul to soul, spirit to spirit. So you can't have a deception if you're going to communicate telepathically. So this is why human beings lost that ability, but animals still have it.
Yeah.
But because we're untruthful, because we live in the fear of punishment if we tell the truth. And how many of us were trained out of telling the truth early in life because we said something in our innocent, oh, grandma, you smell bad, and then you get smacked, and okay, you learn not to tell the truth. But you're a child, so you don't know that you're not supposed to just say what you feel. So we learn to say what we feel.
Totally.
And we learn to not tell the truth if we've done something, because, oh, who spilled the milk? I don't know. He did it, because, you get, if you tell that so our parents.
Here's a look at it. Well, he did it. That's
so that's why we lose that intuitive skill, because we cannot be truthful. We cannot communicate heart to heart, because we have to guard our heart, and we have to mask our thoughts, and this is unfortunately why human beings have lost the very natural skill of telepathic communication.
Well, and there's a few other things, but we'll
Yeah,
get that after commercial. We'll talk about toxins. Yeah. So give me one sec. We'll just we'll go to commercial, and we'll bring on Chris. Bring on Chris.
All right.
So.
And you'll be able to find.
Hi, I'm Jody Susan with Susan Essentials. I started Susan Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Susan Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Susan Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing.
I like it.
Welcome to QuickClick, where customers can buy, share, and earn. Meet Sam. Sam owns an e-commerce business that sells athletic shoes and running gear. Sam wants to increase her sales without increasing marketing spend, so she decides to list her products on QuickClick. On QuickClick, her loyal customers can get paid for sharing her products with their friends. Sam uploads her products to the marketplace, just like she would on Amazon or Shopify. Meet Laura. Laura is in the market for a new pair of shoes and comes across Sam's brand on the QuickClick marketplace. Laura is able to purchase the shoes and check out like she would on any other e-commerce site. After purchasing, Laura receives a unique Quick Link that she can share with friends to begin earning Quick Cash. Her friend Jessica opens Laura's Quick Link on her phone and purchases the pair of shoes. Because Jessica purchases using Laura's Quick Link, Laura receives Quick Cash in her account. After purchasing, Jessica can now share her own Quick Link and begin earning Quick Cash as well. But QuickClick is more than just your typical referral or affiliate platform. QuickClick rewards customers for sales they directly and indirectly influence. So, for every sale Jessica's new Quick Link makes, Laura will earn additional Quick Cash as well, making the potential for earning exponential. Laura and Jessica can transfer their Quick Cash balance to their bank account at any time, or can even use Quick Cash to make additional purchases in the app. Meanwhile, Sam can just watch as the sales roll in. Best of all, she doesn't have to worry about costs, since she is only spending marketing dollars when actual purchases are made. Start buying, sharing, and earning today at QuickClick.com.
One more.
With a simple blood test and food plan, Susan Essentials will help your business, your family, and you eliminate toxins and create a step-by-step plan to nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Click here to learn more.
Yes.
So we are going to bring on Chris.
Ah.
Good morning, everyone.
Great.
Nice to see you.
So welcome to the show. You look beautiful.
Yes,
Thank you. As well do all of you.
Thank you.
We're just a reflection of you.
Yeah, there you go. So you've been following today's show. Well, you've been following all the shows, but you've been following today's show. What's your thought about what it means to be an intuitive and the toxins? Because we were going to talk about how the toxins impact our intuitive abilities.
As far as toxins impacting our intuitive abilities, the physical part of us is really the illusion at the end of the day. It's the energetic part, the soul, right? That actually we're made of, that when we leave here travels on, so to speak. So when you take a toxin, such as say a heavy metal, and you look at the energetic system of the human like simple circuitry, like you have in your home, and you throw in that simple circuitry a piece of metal, what does it do to the light? Does it mess your light up? Does it come on? If you do that to the plug where you plug your machine in, does your plug quit working? Maybe not work quite right. Maybe there's too much coming through and it burns your appliance up. The human body is the same way. So for me, throwing that heavy metal, and my critter was arsenic. Arsenic is a natural heavy metal, okay? Totally hijacked my energy system, my physical body, everything. And so it's not until we start removing those things that energetic system, that circuitry, that natural circuitry that we all are, will start to come online and working correctly. So yes, removing toxins from your environment, your system, your diet, you are what you eat, are all incredibly important.
Yeah, and what do you? I mean, like, you want to talk about what fluoride does to your pineal gland? Which,
Ooh.
for those of people who don't know, the pineal gland is your third. That's your third eye right here,
Yeah.
and that's how you connect to God.
What toxins do to it? Well, they're
Fluoride, actually, fluoride. Fluoride calcifies, your pineal gland, right?
Meaning it you can't.
right. Calcium is a hard thing. If your pineal gland is hard and has buildup, calcium, I guess you can compare to bone and things like that. It's immovable. It's all mucked up. It's not going to work. And so there are ways to get around that. Like we can ask our body, we can ask that pineal gland, hey, you're not functioning. Hello. What is the root of the problem and what do we need to do to get you to now function properly? And at the end of the day, what I've learned through my journey is to look at health a little differently, in that it all comes down to an organ either under functioning or over functioning, right? And when we determine that and pinpoint it and go, hey, hello, can you please come to life and function properly? Things will change for you.
So how do you do that? Or go ahead, Naima.
I was just going to say, as you were speaking about, the I guess, clogged up pineal gland, I'm thinking of a sink where it's stopped up with a bunch of gunk, like you scrape the food from the dishes and you clog your sink and then the water can't come through. And, so I guess that's kind of how that works when our pineal gland is calcified from, say, chloride
Fluoride.
Right.
Yes.
Well, and
They put chloride in everything. The water, the toothpaste, they say that's what you have to have. So people don't even know it's a toxin.
No, it's a neurotoxin, right? So it attacks your nervous system.
Yeah, like we were taught that when we were kids. Oh, we're adding fluoride to the water. It's good for the teeth, right? You all remember that when you were
right?
Yeah.
How many other lies have we been told?
So many. I drink was it alkaline water now? I'll just go ahead and just buy a jug, and drink that. I don't drink water out of the faucet anymore because it's got, with chlorine, chloride, and every other kind of toxin. But
you're going to take me to my water filters, right, Naima? When you talk about
speaking of water, yeah, there you go.
It's cheaper. It's much cheaper if you're spending more than $4 a week on water filter on purified water. It's cheaper to buy from me. All day.
Yeah. Filter the water that's already coming to your house that you're already paying for.
And you're minus the plastics. Let's remember that. When you're purchasing water, right, it's bottled generally in a plastic of some type. When you have like the types of water systems that Jody has, you're minus the plastic, the PFAs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right, because the stuff that's in the plastics is also contributing to the microplastics in your intestinal tract, which is contributing to a compromised gut, or what they call a leaky gut. Ooh. And on my website, and we're still talking about what it means to be an intuitive, and now we're teaching you how to clear your body so you can hear the higher source.
Yeah.
So it says water filtration systems. Did you know that your tap and shower water could be making you sick? And so here you can go check the pollutants in your zip code now, view the third-party tested lab reports, and of course you can schedule a free consult. And the system removes over 200 harsh chemicals. Now you think, well, I live in an apartment, I live in a dorm, or I can't afford it. Everybody can afford it. I'm just going to tell you, because if you're going out to the store and buying water, right? You can afford this because it's cheaper. You just have to have a shift in your mindset about, what that looks like. We have all these two in our house, in addition to having the water pitcher and the traveler, which is just amazing, especially if you find yourself wanting to go camping or you want to go to a hotel somewhere, you can bring that into a hotel. We have the shower filter, because if you're not filtering your shower water, that after a 10-minute shower, that's 17 gallons of water that your body's filtering. And so it's just, really, toxic, just to put it mildly.
I got a question. Do you have a filter that fits on the faucet for, say, if you want to take a bath and soak in the water, but it can filter through the bathtub faucet?
The answer is yes. So you're looking at it right here. It's called a shower filter.
Okay.
And do you have a shower in your? Do you have a okay? So
Yeah.
you have to fill it up from the shower.
Okay.
So it's just a little shift in the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because if especially and there's something else I want to talk to you guys about this. So we moved here to Georgia, and I took a shower, or I took a long soak in my tub from filtered water, and I like to put in essential oils. So these new tubs are not ceramic.
What are they made? What are they
Like
plastic?
fiberglass, plastic. And so all that plastic stuff leached into my tub.
Oh.
When I put the essential oils in, which meant I was soaking in toxins, and I walked out of the tub and I could barely move.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, I guess that's something also that people have to look at. What are your appliances made out of? Everything from your tubs and sinks to your cooking appliances. There's so many things that are toxic. People just don't know because, they're on sale. So you buy it. But people should know. Is there a list people can go to in terms of toxic household substances or toxic household appliances? Is there?
Funny that you should ask.
Ah.
So actually, they can come to my website. It's part of my functional food program. They can also go to a lot of the sources that I use, which the functional food program does lead you to the most up-to-date information. So the EWG.org, the Organic Consumers Association, the Alliance for Natural Health, Chris, do you know a few that I've not mentioned or?
No, this is gonna sound, well, it is what it is. I find my stuff actually on National Institutes of Health. All those government websites that everybody preaches against, if you know what you're looking for and you go on there and search it, you'll find it. They have all that stuff there. Some of the organizations that you've mentioned, I actually did not know about until recently. I saw some of that stuff in the functional food program that, yes, I am working through. Everybody, it's wonderful. I'm excited about all the information I'm finding and learning on there. So that's what I do. The research is there. If you go and know what you're looking for, you'll find it.
Well, and the problem is most people don't know what they're looking for, which is why the functional food program is so important. It helps you to be a more critical thinker. And I'm not saying people are not thinking critically, but we've just been programmed.
Yeah.
In a different way. So I'm helping you shift your mindset about what you're consuming. What is it consuming mean? Is it just food? So a friend of mine from grade school, who's the CEO of a major nut company, he was reviewing the syllabus, and we get to the second section. He goes, "Wait a minute, you're not talking food?" And I said, "No, we're not." Yeah, he was surprised. We're talking light bulbs. We're talking pans. We're talking hangers.
Wow.
Yeah. We're talking your wood floors. We're talking your carpeting.
Heck, it was a pesticide and a wood product that made me sick that I had no idea about. Ladies, it took 20 years of my life.
Tell us about that.
15 of those years, nobody had a clue. And so they would just throw crap at the wall, so to speak, meds, more or less. Oh, I don't know. Let's see what it is. So I was exposed to a critter called CCA, or chromated copper arsenic.
Wow.
Arsenic being the worst of those critters. And now I'm going to have to be really careful about how I speak about the wood, right? Because I don't need a lawsuit. However, it was in what we call a green wood or wet wood. I was making custom furniture. Like we had a farm. I would go out on the farm, we'd cut the trees down, and I'd cut them into planks and dry them like it was completely made from the ground up. And
wow.
You could see your reflection when I got done in my stuff because I was using this beautiful red cedar wood, and red cedar wood is gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
Just let it be and put something on there to enhance the colors.
Wow.
And anyway, I didn't want the bases to rot because they were big gliders that I was putting outside. So the base I was making out of this green wood. I did the same thing to it. I cut it, I shaped it, I sanded it, I finished it. And so I was breathing in and it was coming in through my skin. Like it would burn my skin and I couldn't figure out why. And I'm, oh, it must be okay. I bought it in the store off the shelf,
Well, your skin has no filter, by the way.
And it's the biggest absorber and exporter of toxins to our systems.
Right, but I want to repeat that. Your skin has no filter.
It will absorb everything in the environment.
Yeah, when you drink water, you do have filters in your body. Your skin has zero. Zero. Keep talking.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, wow. And so, about 3 to 5 years or so after this, now, like this appeared in some of my family members right away. Like my youngest daughter, oh my gosh, her little switch flipped. And of course, nobody in the medical community is going to look at that and go, well, what's at the root of the cause? Do you have something in your house causing that? Oh, heck no. She was diagnosed with everything under the dang sun. ODD, ADD. I mean, you name it, she had it and it was out of control. It was horrible for her growing up because this went unidentified. So, but for me, it manifested in my liver, my filtering system just simply could not filter this stuff anymore. And so when you get a problem in your filtering system, it will impact your entire physical being, your entire, energetic being. And that's what happened. I moved. I can't even like this uncontrollably all the time. It was horrible. To the point that I had a hard time going out in public even because people would stop and they would gawk. They would stop and stare and their mouths would drop. That's how severe this was. And not to mention what it does to your skeletal system. Do those movements uncontrollably for long enough and it will jack your skeletal system from top to bottom. Yeah. So like I've had brain surgery, I've had all these things, and it wasn't until an angel was dropped into my life, my dad, who wasn't, you can't really classify him in any one area. He'll tell you he treats the body on a cellular level. And he took one look at me and he was like, what were you exposed to? You were exposed to some kind of pesticide. And I'm like, no, I wasn't. You don't know what you're talking about. Chemicals, yeah. Pesticides, no. Well, 2 weeks later, after him prodding me, and of course, he had already started treating for this, it finally popped in my head. And I did research and found that that wood that I was using was filled with chromated copper arsenic in the worst form you can have it in the South.
Wow. And you never would have thought.
Right?
So
Ever.
here's the thing. Do you know there are people like you? Yeah. How many? I mean, like, it's countless, right?
There's countless, because look, if I was exposed to this in a wood product, what do you think it's doing to you on your food products?
Ooh.
Come on, right?
Or
So,
when you step on your carpet, okay, those have forever chemicals in them. And most of our home is not carpeted, but we're in an apartment, so we don't have a choice. And so we diffuse essential oils literally all day to neutralize the impact of those PFAs. I mean, running a diffuser 24/7.
And what's PFA for those who don't know what that stands for?
PFA, it's forever chemicals, PFAS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's actually a more complicated name than that. But if you look up PFA or forever chemicals, the reason they call them forever chemicals is they stay forever in your body.
Wow.
And we do have ways to get them out, but you get the point.
Yeah. Well, you know what happens after everybody's been all infected with some chemical, then years later, there'll be some lawsuit, and somebody will have discovered that this was a commonly used chemical and sue the company, and then there's a class action lawsuit, and then there's an announcement, oh, if you've been affected by using such and such a chemical, you might be eligible.
Glyphosate, right?
But they still make the product is the problem.
Yeah. Now that's the thing.
Hello.
Do they stop making the product, or they just let people keep getting sick?
Right. It's ridiculous.
So my friend Teddy says, Jody, she calls me Susan Essentials. Just call me Jody. CCA, treated wood for outdoor deck sliders, etc., is a standard in the construction industry. A good alternative is cedar, redwood, like raised bed gardens. Use pine or oak and treat with organic vegetable oil. Spot on. And I want to explain to people why we're talking. We said this is about being an intuitive. I want to make the connection. Your ability to feel, hear, smell, connect to God is all driven by what you're exposing yourself to. Yeah. That is, and it drives your emotional well-being. Yeah. And these are the things that I live to tell people.
Yes, there's a mind, body, spirit connection, and if you
look, your body
is dysfunctional.
Your body is a divination tool. And if you look in religious teachings of all sorts, they're all going to tell you this. Hey, people, your body is a divination tool. And if you look into certain parts of Christianity, for sure, I know it tells you your body is your temple. All throughout
it's 3.1, I think it's 3.14, 3.19. Yes, you're right. They used to have it written up on one of our
your body is your temple. Yeah.
Yeah. We're taught, people unfortunately skip all the good parts in all the spiritual texts I found. He tells you your body is your temple. He tells you know thyself. Why is that? Know thyself. Why? Because he resides within.
Yeah, here's the thing, and that's Christianity. But and I don't know all the other religions, but people know yourself anyway. I don't care what religion you are.
Yeah.
I know you. Know you. And know what kind of eggs you like.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing with prayer and meditation. And like you were saying earlier in the show, being able to receive, being able to listen and hear the voice of God so that you can get a message. And when you're undecided in something, you got to be able to be quiet and listen, and then you'll be told. But you ask so that you can receive, and that means you have to turn off the noise around you and in your head in order to be able to hear the voice that tells you what you need to know.
Exactly. So I'm going to do two things. One, read Zelda's comment. We also have a caller on the Blog Talk Radio. If you want to contribute to this conversation, you can call us 515-605-9325. So Zelda says, yes, skin has no filter. My BFF of 60 plus years just passed of a skin disease, sclerodermal, esophageal dysmobility, I can't even say that, in which there is no cure. Frightening to see what it does to the body, including paralysis. So what I'm just going to, first of all, Zelda, I've already told you how I am so sorry. And I'm glad that you went out there to Las Vegas to see her. I'm going to just shift one thing, if I may. There is a cure. Cure is a whole food diet. Because the body, once you start giving it what it needs, it's like, oh my gosh, happy dance. Look at this. It's real. Let me do my thing now. Go, 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 go. I mean, how the hell do you think I lost almost 100 pounds? And I wasn't eating vegetables. I was eating all meat because I was allergic to all the vegetables at the time.
Because they were all sprayed with toxins.
Yeah, but I'm saying I did go organic. But what I'm saying is that I had food sensitivities to about 135 different items, most of which were vegetables and herbs.
But that was because of the toxins that were in your body that were making you sick. So that's why
the toxins were making me sick, but because I had so much trauma, my body started to see food as a predator.
Wow.
And so when we don't rotate our foods and we start taking things like, sorry to say this, Juice Plus, or even doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality, they're good products, but you can't take them every day because it doesn't allow, they're made with real food. So it doesn't allow you to rotate your food. And if you have trauma, which everybody's had, now your body starts to see that as a predator. And when I did my food sensitivity test, all these fruits and vegetables showed up as I'm being sensitive to, and I never had it in my life. I never ate it. And then I looked at the ingredients on Juice Plus and Lifelong Vitality, and I love doTERRA oils, and I love what Juice Plus is trying to do. But we have to rotate our food. We have to be responsible. So that means you can't be taking Juice Plus and LLV all day long or every day.
That's not
you can't. You must rotate your food.
Yeah.
Okay. And they make it with Whole Foods. Okay. So rant over.
There literally is no disease in which there is no cure.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Because our bodies are made to heal themselves when we give them the right nutrients.
You got it.
So I'm going to bring on 706-202. We are talking about what it means to be an intuitive, the things that cause us to not hear or be able to listen to God, like that. All right. So welcome to Self-Cell Care. Thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Grand Rising and Assalamu Alaikum to Sister Naima. This is Brother Kwame. I'm calling you from the stolen lands of the Muskogee Creek in Edenton, Georgia.
So Kwame,
Very
such a delight to hear your voice. Really.
Thank us.
God bless you.
Thank us.
God bless you.
Yes.
That word is really challenging sometimes.
I understand, but you know what I mean. Source bless you. You know I love you. That's all. Just substitute a word that works for you, sweetheart.
There you go.
But what you're discussing is very important for us to understand the things in which are in our environment. And one of the most well-kept secrets in our water is what you were talking about when you were saying about working with wood. Because toilet paper is made from wood, and that is one thing, the particles in toilet paper is carried over into our drinking water. So if people are understanding that the fibers made from that the particles made from toilet paper cannot always be filtered out of the water that we're getting through our taps. And, you know, even the bottled water is plastic is leaching into it. But the thing that I'm hearing about intuitive, you know, the first part of our awareness of our intuitive was in the womb. And being able to feel and receive all the energies of our mother. And as we come onto the planet, we still have that, but in the environment, it begins to be lost because of the environment and the things in which we have to face and the fears that we are instilled with. So getting back to nature allows some to reconnect back to some of those born instincts, because the thing that we begin to see in the animal world and in the world of the community of forests is that basically all in the forest has kept its intuitiveness. Mm-hmm. It knows when the weather is changing. It knows when storms are coming. It knows how to stay balanced or to stay in order with the forest. So it's getting back to that space where we can have an opportunity to reconnect to who we are, or to recover that person that we were born to be. And so I just think it's very important how we share information, because the word is to inform. How do you reconstruct yourself? Informing a whole body, a whole human being. And that's how we inner form. You have to work from within, because the 4 laws of change, and the first law is you have to begin within. And we began our life within another human being. And we carry those other beings that's going to come onto the planet. And so nutrients and environment, because trauma and environment is what affects us. Nutrients and environment will help repair us.
Yeah.
Nutrients and environment. Yes. Yeah, and I guess the challenge that many people have when it comes to environment, if they are living in a toxic environment where there may be very little nature available, and, you know, wide use of toxic chemicals, pesticides, and so forth that people use, it's challenging, because you have to figure out how you can go someplace and clean your aura. And that means sometimes you have to go away from where you live just so you can, you know, sit by the lakeside or in the forest or whatever, even if you have to drive some miles and, you know, an hour or so to get to someplace to clean your aura, so that you can restore your soul. What is the line in the Psalms? You know, He restoreth my soul. You know, and even sitting along the green pastures, and, you know, leading me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. So all of these things in the 23rd Psalm is describing the kind of environment that you need to take yourself to restore your soul. And I think that when you live, and like you said, that the urban environment, you know, you are banned from nature. When we live in an urban environment, and we live, and we're constantly being bombarded with all of these negative energies of people You know, if you live in an apartment building, that means all of these people's energies are impacting you. Or if you work in a, you know, building, a lot of people, all these people's energies are impacting you. Everything from their toxicity, physically and emotionally. You have to go someplace and restore your soul. You have to get away and be in a cleansing environment in order to restore yourself. And a lot of people don't know the importance of doing that.
Well, so if you get in a fight with someone, you know, like when Andrew and I have an argument, what we now do is we go for a walk separately.
That's not
separately, you know, because we go back, we connect with nature, we clear our head so that we can, you know, get past that tipping point.
Yeah, and you can see whatever your energy is, how it affects your animal friends there, because they're very intuitive and absorbing, you know. So when they start going off, it'd be like, oh, wait a minute, why are they upset? Oh, we had an argument, you know, because they felt that.
Well, she was upset because she wasn't on the show. Did you hear that squawking?
Yeah, I heard that. That's so funny. Oh, sorry, Fagala. We know you got something to say. No disrespect.
So the Kwame, Kwame makes all these good points. Kwame, what else do you have to share about this? I know you're so wise, so I'm just going to let you talk, Dolly.
Yeah, but what we're listening to and what we're sharing is to be able to, the part of intuitive, the part that we were talking about, hearing God not with the two ears on our head, but the ear in our heart. Because that word is in the word heart is ear. And to hear with that heart. And what is that quiet voice that is telling us some of the things that we sometimes take for granted is being still, like she said in the 23rd Psalm, be still, he maketh me lie down beside still water. To lay in that state, and when you're laying on the earth, you're receiving the frequencies of the human frequency, the electrical current that's running through the planet. Plus, if you're laying, that means you're looking up.
Ooh.
So the part for us is being able to understand how to reconnect to who we are. Because everything we need, as Rumi says, everything in the universe is within you. When will you learn to use yourself? And so these are the challenges. Like you said, urban means that you're banned from nature. Being there in Chicago and growing up there, it used to be a challenge to get to the lakefront.
Yeah.
Because standing at that lakefront, it disappears the environment behind you. You turn around, there's a whole city. But if you look out over that lake and find a nice spot where boats are not running up and down, you begin to clear your mind because there's nothing visually in front of you. And so these were the parts of learning oneself and utilizing the environment to help to correct you, evolve into what it is that you came on the planet to become. Being and becoming is what a human is.
Being.
Yeah, and I want to expand upon that, like a yes and, right? You said hearing starts with your heart. I've often been questioned by others who don't really know me yet. How do you know who you're listening to? And here's the answer to that. It goes to what Kwame said. So when I bring in source energy, and for me, Jesus Christ, okay, I don't listen until I feel not an energy in my heart, love in my heart. And I've often said, as I'm doing this, I don't feel the love yet. I want to feel the feeling of love in my heart. That's when I'll start asking questions. If love is not in my heart, I'm not asking questions, because then I don't know who I'm talking to.
Right. That's why forgiveness is so critical, because if you're still holding anger towards someone, you can't feel the love. So in order to be a clear channel, in order to receive, you got to cleanse the heart. And like you say, when you feel the love, then you know what you receive is from the higher source.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd just like to add real quick there, we actually, you know, we were given free will, we were given autonomy. We have a choice to set our space. We have a choice to say, I am only going to listen to and be guided by divine angels, my spiritual support team of 100% love and light. We have the ability to set those boundaries and only allow in what we choose to.
Yes, yes. That's true. That's true. And you know, and that means basically recognizing when we have unwittingly lowered our frequency by negative emotions or holding on to negative experiences and memories, because that lowers our own vibration, and then that makes us susceptible to receiving things from a lower energy, a lower vibration, and non-love. So it's to our benefit to let go of negativity, let go of bad experiences, angry experiences, let go of things that keep us from tuning into the higher frequency of love.
And where do we find this? It will always alert us, always, if we are paying attention in our body, in our divination tool, someplace, whether it comes in the form of, ooh, I feel something in my gut, or that nervous, oh, I got to do something energy, right? Or the proverbial crash, bam. It always lets us know within.
That's right. This body is a communication device, so it's always telling us where we are. Yeah, and
right. And so if you're going to ignore those signals, okay, somebody has a message. I knew it. Okay, so what's your message? So I have to listen in order to hear. So give me a minute here. She says people need to love one another, and they're so busy proving their point that they are failing to listen and to hear and to love. Instead, they just want to be right instead of being in a relationship. You're a wise old parrot. Is that complete, or is there more? There's more. Okay, hold on. We're getting there. And of course, she goes back to what she said on the very first show, which is start with heart and seek to understand. And she says, if you can understand others, seek first to understand others, you can stop judging others. And when you have, she says, in her opinion, she says, judgment is the lowest. Judgment is, okay, you gotta let me speak. You know, in birds, they all speak at the same time.
Yeah, they can speak and listen, you know, but you know,
honey, everybody else,
we can't do that as well.
Okay,
we can't do it simultaneously, baby.
All right. So if people,
we love you, Fagala.
Ow! She goes, you stick your finger in my mouth, I'm gonna bite it.
But you know, but that is true though. People, even in conversations, when there's a disagreement, people get
they talk over each other.
Yes, and instead of trying to listen and understand and empathize, it's like, no, I want to make sure you hear me because I'm right, and there's no communication, because the first thing is to listen. But we get so caught up on wanting to be right, wanting to be heard, wanting to overpower the other person, that we never really hear what they're saying.
And I've done
hearing
that.
it would bring peace to the situation.
Yeah, and I've done
Of
that.
course, Paul's guilty of that.
Yeah, we've all been guilty of that.
Sure.
Yeah, and what she's saying is that, and I'll get it. Okay, I won't. So play with that. She's saying that judgment is the lowest form of vibration.
Yes, yes.
And so I'm just trying to get her a little distracted here. My
But-
brilliant bird, my emotionally intelligent bird. And she's right.
And it's actually the vibration of judgment that will make you susceptible to illness.
Sure.
If people understood that if they let go of judgment, they would not lower their vibration to the degree that makes them susceptible to COVID.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Do you
yeah.
know
Don't
what helped me?
we're not okay. Pause.
Okay.
We're not talking about anything related to that. We cannot.
Oh, right. Can't say the C word. Okay.
Any of that.
Can't say the C word or the B word. Okay. But even cancer is a vibration.
Mhm.
So if you can let go of anger and judgment, you raise your vibration. And as you said, your body is a communication device.
So, I want to go back to me cutting off Naima. The reason I had to cut Naima off is that YouTube has suspended my channel for a week because we used terms that are not in alignment with what they want. Because they're owned by someone other than other than the green organic farms.
Right.
So here's the thing. I want to just say that I've opened up an account on Rumble, and and my husband's going to come get Fagala here in a minute.
Yeah, we got a couple other callers too. I think 773-946-773-977. Try to squeeze them in before the end.
She's not going to be happy, but anyways. So she's a little loud. Okay, so let's go ahead and Kwame, we're so grateful to have had you on the show and to ignite that conversation. We have two other callers, so we're gonna mute yours and go on to the next. Oh goodness gracious, it's like a bird place here. All right, so 773-946 is going to be next. Thank you for calling Self Care. We're talking about what it means to be an intuitive, and what supports you in hearing God and listening. And who's this? Hello. Okay, so we're going to go to the next caller, which is 773-977. And you heard why whoever that is, you're reverberating.
Yeah, I gotta make sure you cut off other.
Yeah, so I just closed that. So, but we have 7 minutes left on the show. Let's just see if there's any other. And I want to just kind of share what Zelda had, because we were talking about how we can reverse disease. And she says she's well aware, but one must be in the mindset to change your diet. Zelda, we totally get that. And I understand she lost weight, according to Zelda, because she couldn't eat. She was a great reminder for me to eat clean, like the functional food program. And to rotate your food. And Zelda, I know you know that. I just don't want people to think that you can't reverse disease. And there's pretty much just about any disease you can reverse.
Yeah.
It's your choice in the matter.
Right. And that's the thing, I guess, that's kind of challenging when you have information and you want to share it with people, but you're challenged by corporate interests and other things. So that's when you have to use your intuition, because when you're told one thing and things are advertised on television and everything, but then that there's something else that's when you need to really use your intuitive powers to discern if something is right for you or not. And when you can clean your aura, when you can go in nature, when you can be quiet, when you can meditate and listen, that's the surest way to get the best answer, as if, you know, something you should or shouldn't eat, something you should or shouldn't take in terms of a medication, something you should or shouldn't use in terms of a product. Go to the source of all knowledge, the creator of the universe, and you can hear that voice. All of us can hear that voice. We're telling you the things to do to unlock your own intuitive powers, because we all have them. But
Yeah,
some
can I say this? I think this is really important. So I don't want people to leave the show thinking that if you're on a bunch of medication and you're obese and you're eating toxic food, that you can't hear God. I'm just saying you can hear it better. And here's why this is so important. I don't want you to feel left out.
Yeah.
Because when I was disabled, I'm laying on my couch and I heard God. I heard God. God saved me. And I was obese. I was 235 pounds. I had, I don't know, like 19 different medications every day. I was eating toxic foods, and God spoke to me. So he can speak to you whenever you're ready to listen.
Right.
Can I add something?
Please do. I know you got something great to say.
In order to really feel that connection with God, it is important to figure out who we are. Meaning, start peeling away that onion, getting to the root of who I am, because we are so inundated with everybody and everything around us in our energy system, to the point that it impacts our thoughts, how we feel and perceive things. Not only that, but the past life stuff that comes in, right? And will hold you back. I was not able to really hone and focus everything and figure out who I am, how to get to that core, until I started peeling the layers away. With that came looking into all the genetic line, past life stuff that we continue to carry forward into this life now. Only then, when I figured out, start peeling away the layer. What's me, what's not? Oh, that judgment actually didn't come from me. That came from so-and-so when I was 4, right? And I did something out of the way that shocked them.
Mm-hmm.
It's an imprint, right, Chris? It's an imprint on you that's how you're supposed to think.
And so then that's what we think that we're supposed to be doing, when in all actuality, that's not us at all. That's somebody else's idea. So the most important thing people can do is start peeling away those layers. The most important thing for me that was missing, not only from the beginning, right? We have to address that
90 seconds,
but was the grounding. A good grounding process that you put into place every day that teaches you how to ground properly was the one thing that I was missing, and was what really helped just bam, bring it all in, and ooh, look, here it is.
Wow.
That will do it. I mean,
60
we have
seconds.
60 seconds left on the show. I want to thank you, everyone. It's a great way to end the show, Chris. Ground, right?
Yes.
You know, don't give up on yourself, and don't give up on God. And stop. I'm hearing you use the word stop like it's a judgment. Stop judging yourself.
Grace.
Give yourself grace, right, Chris? And know that if you're having a bad day, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
And I will end with this, which is I need 100 subscribers.
10 seconds.
I need 100 subscribers to Rumble so I can live stream. Get me that
Go
by next
subscribe
week.
to Jody's Rumble so we can rumble, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about slices of cake and who's eating the new cake.
And may I suggest you make it with Simple Mills? That's the brand I like of it's a box cake made with almond flour and all good stuff. So, yeah, they just make it easy for you. What's that?
It's a healthy cake.
Healthy cake. You can actually have your cake and eat it too.
I like that. Hey, have your cake and eat it too.
All right. Oh, so I only.
Yeah, watch the replay.
Hi, Alex.
That's
Thank
right.
you, love.
Yeah, you can watch a replay on Facebook and LinkedIn, and we'll be uploading this to Rumble. So, all right. And we will end this. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the show. Chris, thank you for joining, being part of the show today, and Naima. We're grateful. And next week, I believe we have Michelle Froge on the show.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Don't know what we're talking about yet.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that. And join us tomorrow on the Female Solution. We have our men-only discussion. We'll be talking about abortion. What do men feel about that?
Yeah. And so I want to encourage you to connect with my Sisters of the Microphone on Facebook. So that's Naima Latif, Zelda Robinson, Vieta Robinson, Deborah Smith. We have Dr. Debbie Green. And there are a couple others that do the weekend that I've not met. Do you want to share who those are? Zana.
Yeah, we've got Jana joining us live from London, England.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first Saturday. And then now we're bringing in Mama Joy Segur for our second Saturday of the month. And then we have, you mentioned Deborah Smith, the third Saturday. And the fourth Saturday, we will be now featuring the Global Teen Virtual Talent Competition. So that's young people from all over the world showing us their beautiful creative talents. So join us on the Female Solution 7 days a week.
Yeah, but also connect with these hosts so you can get on their feed and start learning from them. So Naima does this post right here, 5:55 a.m. every day. Words of wisdom. I'm telling you, since you can't pick up the phone and call her like I do every day, her post.
Yes, follow the post. Yes. Yes, I introduce great wisdom teachers every day, and this is what can raise our vibration so we can retain and obtain and maintain our spirituality and our intuition.
Elevating the world, ladies.
And Chris, where can they follow you? You have a YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, it's Chris Feitzula at Here He'll Know Your Soul.
You want to put that in the private chat, please? Yeah. And I'll put it on there because we only have Chris.
Yes, so we want to know how to find you on YouTube.
So there we go.
There we go. Hear, heal, know your soul.
All right. Comments.
That is great.
Thanks for Teddy May. She says, keep posting the channel. And that's Chris Feitzula. And it's Here He'll Know Your Soul.
All right.
So follow us all and start, picking up on all the tidbits of information so that you can hear and heal and know your soul.
There you go. Yes.
All right. So let me see if I can get this.
Thank you, ladies. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.